And welcome to the podcast show. My name's Dan Latto, and in today's session, I want to talk about the ways that these businesses are slowly dying. And we've got 12 things that we're going to go through, and you can listen to each one and just work out, is this you? Is this the kind of thing that you're feeling as well right now? We're very, very busy with clients, by the way. And we're also very, very busy speaking to clients every single day. Not clients, but people who are looking to become a client. We have like 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 strategy sessions a day. It's that busy and it's awesome. Love it. But what's interesting is that there's basically 12 things that come up all the time. And it's one of the things that we get to hear constantly on a daily basis. And what's happening right now out there is that people, businesses like yourself, they're looking at using an agency like our digital agency. And what's actually happening is that they've got these problems with these agencies and they keep on getting burned. And so then what happens is they come to us and they kind of have a little bit moan about it, which you totally understand. We hear all sorts of things. One of them yesterday was, I paid a lot of money to have a website done, and the guy's just disappeared halfway through. Now, we're fortunate because we've been going since 2011. We used to own a lettings agency, then we moved into digital, and even before digital, we've been doing a lot of digital stuff. I remember coding HTML using Dreamweaver 4 back in the 90s, late 90s. We've done SEO for a lot of time, and we've been doing digital marketing in one form or another for decades these days. But what happens is that these fly-by-night companies come in, they promise everything, and then nothing gets done. There's no deliverables. I mean, we just took on a SEO agency, a company that's was using an SEO agency, and they were getting one blog post and one page a month. We've just putting together 55 different pages. We still have to do the blog post, but 55 location pages that's going to take us into July. And it's we're on the 29th of May now. I mean, compare that to what, 2 pieces of content a month, and now we're going to get 55 over the next 2 months. It's significantly different. And actually, we did exactly the same for another client of ours 2 months ago. And if I go and have a look at the rankings now, what's interesting is that work we did two months ago, that's actually starting to rank on page 1. So we've got, let's have a look here. So we call these services and location pages. And so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is amazing, right? 16, 17, I'm forgetting how to count, 18, 19, 21, 22, 22, any more for 22, 23, 24, like this is a lot, right? 25, I think that's it. 25 new pages that are starting to rank. Those ones right at the start are now ranking on page 1, number 1. That's work that we did 2 months ago, and they've come from nowhere straight onto page 1. That's because it works. That's because what we do, we know what we're doing. Even though SEO's changed, it's definitely changed. Even in the last 6 months, we've now got AI and all of that kind of thing. And it has definitely changed. There's no question about it. But because we know what we're doing, it means that we can implement it and then we get results, which is really cool. But we're getting clients or potential clients coming to us, and they've just been burnt so many different times. And so it's one of the things that's stopping them actually growing their business, is because they're so afraid of being burnt yet again that they actually end up not taking any action. And we hear it all the time, right? So one of the reasons why businesses are going bust slowly, silently, is because they're so afraid to actually take the action that will get them out of it, because there's so many people out there, little small one-man bands that promise everything but don't implement anything, and they don't get any results. Number 2 is that just running ads isn't enough on its own. So it used to be that we would run content and we get a lot of people filling in strategy sessions, and we used to load up massively on content, and that came and went. And content has shifted again. Just recently, as last 6 to 12 months, it's definitely shifted. There's a lot more entertainment, a lot more memes, People don't come on Instagram and TikTok to watch a guy talk about marketing, right? Which is, I don't know what you're doing watching this, but it just doesn't happen. And so there's been a shift then over to paid ads, and nobody wants paid ads because you have to pay. Like, oh, do content because it's free. Yeah, absolutely. But you're not getting enough reach. You're only reaching the people who already know who you are and what you do, and they already follow you. But the problem there is that you're not able to reach people who don't know who you are. They don't know that you exist. And so you have to run paid ads. But then paid ads on its own is also not enough, because it's fine running paid ads. What people then do when they see you, they won't click on the ad, they'll click on the page. And then they'll look at all your content. If you've got no content and your page is really empty, or you're having an argument with someone, or it's just cats, or whatever the funny meme is, it's just not going to work. So people do check you out. And then the other thing that people do is they'll go on to Google, they'll type your name, and they'll see, your LinkedIn comes up, and your Twitter comes up, and your Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook and whatever else. You Google my business page will come up. And if you've got no content, again, you've lost all credibility. And so we use content for credibility. This podcast show that we're running now is to build credibility. That's the thing that you need to be running in your business. If you're not credible in 2026, no one's going to buy from you. It's 2026. Nobody trusts anybody. Look at the politicians, for God's sake. So running ads on its own is simply not enough. You need all of it. You need SEO. You've got to be ranking. You've got to have live streams like this. You've got to be putting out content. You've got to be emailing your client list. And we speak to people. I'm like, what's your email? And we had a conversation. We've had lots of conversations this week, but one of the conversations was, are you emailing your clients? I've got a web form. Brilliant. We've got a web form. Are you emailing your clients? No. What's your email system? Oh, I don't have one. It's just a web form, and I get an email saying someone filled in a form. Right. But you're not building a mailing list. What's going on? Why are you not doing that? You've got to be doing that. SEO, Facebook ads, content, videos, images, funny cat videos, if that's what you want. Like that's what you have to be pushing out there constantly. Next one then, number 3, organic content barely reaches anybody now. Well, we just talked about that. It doesn't reach anybody. Like less than 2% of people are going to see your content. And people go, oh, well, I'm posting 3 times a week, but I've heard that's too much. Dude, we're posting 4 times a day, minimum. We used to go through, when I was doing a lot of content, we would go through, there's a fly. We would go through four videos a day, plus all the other content. And when we were really ramping it up, it'd be 5 or 6 videos, and then 3 or 4 other pieces of content. And the reason why we can get away with that is because no one's watching in the first place. Facebook throttles the number of people that can actually come and watch your content. No one's watching it. Oh, well, I've posted twice today. I don't want to overdo it. Impossible. Post 1,000 times a day. All right, maybe that's like, I'm sure you've got better things to do than post 1,000 times a day, but you can post 100 times a day and nothing bad happens, right? Only good stuff can happen from that. And then the other thing that happens, number 4, is that we get a lot of people coming through to us and they've used a one-man band. There's nothing wrong with one-man bands. I was one myself when we first started this out. Thankfully, now we have a full team. We've got an SEO team, we've got a Facebook ads or paid ads team. We've got graphic designers, we've got video editors, we have a team of content coordinators whose sole job is there to speak to the client and find out what do you need, and then get the team tasked with creating that. So if that's editing videos, or it's creating an image, or it's writing a blog post or an email, it all gets done. Amazing, right? But a lot of people that, like one of the conversations yesterday, well, I'm spending X number of pounds on a team in Pakistan, and well, they're all right. I'm like, dude, how much hand holding do you have to do with this team? It's a lot, right? Because they're a different culture and they have different views. I mean, we deal with teams overseas all the time, and we deal with clients who've had to deal with these teams overseas. Very, very challenging. A lot of learning and teaching has to be going on there. But then even like one-man bands working from a small room, he works at weekends, got a full-time job doing something else, and then he's, they're starting up this business and they might know SEO. Brilliant. But what about your video editing? Oh, he'll do some of that. Yeah, but is any good? Is he degree educated at video editing? No, right? Has he got a degree in SEO, a degree in video editing? Has he got a degree in copywriting? Has he got a degree in what else? Web design? Do you know what I mean? So this is the problem that most people are trying to solve using such a tiny, tiny budget, trying to save money. And all we're doing is spending that money and there's no return because there's actually not that much output. There's not a lot of SEO going on. There's not a lot of content being created. There's not a lot of Facebook ads going on. There's not a lot of analysis on the data to see what's working and what's not. None of that is actually happening. And the next one then, how many leads will I get? You know, when someone comes to us, and this is the question that they've asked the last 5 agencies, and we're looking for a magic number, 15, 200. I like, what is that number? What even is that number? What does it even mean? How many leads? Can we generate 15 leads a day? Yeah, they'll be crap. But if you're not fussed about that, not a problem. If you've got a team of people ready to phone up all those leads and do all the chasing up, like, that's not what you want. Getting good leads is a balance between getting enough leads and qualifying them and not getting so many leads that the qualification process is so bad. And what I mean by that is that if you've got 20 people a day coming through and they're all really low, that's going to take a lot of time to qualify them in or out. If you've got 3 leads coming in, but they're already qualified because the form on the Facebook page or on the landing page qualifies them, pre-qualifies them, then that's what you're going to do. That's what you'll get. So when people come to us and go, how many leads can I get? We go, we don't know. Nobody knows. And if you've got an agency that's saying, oh, we guarantee 15 leads a day or 15 leads a week guaranteed. What? So you're getting 15 leads every week, or it's just minimum? And what's the quality of those leads? How can anybody guarantee that? It's ridiculous. Your business is not the same as your competitor's business, even though you're in the same market, in the same location, saying the same stuff. It's just different because you're not the same. Your business is not the same, even though you're in the same town or city. You're not even in the same town or city. One's in LS15 and one's in LS12. Very different areas. So it's not the same. It's impossible to determine how many leads you're going to generate. You just have to run the ads, you have to run the content, and let's see what happens. And then we analyze the data and we make differences onto what we do based on what that data is going to tell us. One of the other things that people do, by the way, we had a chat this week to say, I want to pay you 12 months up front. What are you doing? No wonder clients getting burned by agencies. You shouldn't be paying anybody 12 months up front. You might pay a deposit and then a monthly thing. Like, we don't even take a deposit. You pay today and then that's it for the next month. And then you pay every month. And we get some people want to pay 30 days behind. So we do the work and they piss off and we don't get any money. No. That's not how that works either. But, we're not desperate for clients. Do you know what I mean? It's not like we're go on then and just praying and hoping that they're going to pay, and then every excuse under the sun for the next 3 months as to why they can't pay. And now we're a debt collection agency rather than putting out great content and doing Facebook ads and emails and all the other stuff that we should be doing. So you shouldn't be doing any of that either. You shouldn't be paying anybody up front. And 6 months contracts, no. Do we do 6 months contracts? I know we don't do 6 months contract. I'm just working out if we're going to talk about that. We're not. So let me talk about contracts. Like, we do 3 months minimum contract, right? And the reason we want 3 months is because we want to run the ads, we want to run the content, we want to get our feet under the desk and get to work. And it takes about 12 weeks to get everything up and running. Your ads are going and live. They're out of the Facebook learning phase. They're all up and running after 30 days. Brilliant. And out of the learning phase as well. They're usually up and running in 14 days. When this learning phase, Facebook has to go through for 2 weeks, where it sends adverts to all sorts of random places. We had a person in China book a strategy call, for God's sake. I don't know what Facebook was thinking about that. But 6 months minimum contracts. Who's doing that? Who? I sound like an owl then. Who? Who's asking for 6 months contract? That's ridiculous. What if you don't like them? This guy that said, oh, I want to pay you 12 months up front, he actually ended up not going ahead. And I said to him, I said, look, you don't pay us 12 months up front. You might hate us in 2 months. And you know, month 3 is your last month. But we want 3 months to get our feet under the table so we can get stuck into your business and start doing all the work that needs to get done. But what if you don't like us? What if you absolutely hate us and you've paid 12 months up front and now you can't get out of it? And we took on a client this month actually, who was in a contract and couldn't get out of it because the contract was lengthy. So they came to us anyway, right? and we started implementing quite a lot of SEO. There's all these pages going out, and then there's a whole bunch of social media content that's being lined up, and then there is the Facebook ads that should be live like today or tomorrow, I think. Anyway, don't pay anybody up front. The lead quality paradox. This is the thing. We had a guy last week, and he's like, I just want leads that fill in the form and then phone me up. And I'm like, dude, don't we all? Those leads very rarely exist. Unicorn leads is probably what we should start calling them. They just don't exist. Yeah, but if somebody wants what I sell, then they would phone me up. Dude, I want a Ferrari, but I'm not phoning up Ferrari. For me to buy a Ferrari, Ferrari's going to have to chase me. The guy's going to have to chase me. Big decision, all that stuff, right? Like, this is where it's at. The quality of the leads, you're not going to get 100% over the top, amazing quality leads are just so desperate to chuck money at you. We don't live in that world. There's so many options to put that money. You've got to work for it. Now, can you get better quality leads? Yes, you can. So you send them to a landing page. You have like an induction or some questions that will qualify them to some extent. You still have to follow them up and chase them up. They'll still ignore you. That is the way that it goes. And so you also need to have some level of follow-up system. So when somebody books a strategy call with me, for example, they will get 2 emails, they'll get 2 text messages reminding them. I'll also send them a personal WhatsApp after the strategy call. They get an email 10 days later saying, how was your strategy call? Like, we have a follow-up mechanism. That system is there to follow up potential leads. No one's banging on our door. We do get a few, by the way, which is really nice, but very rare. We don't get people banging on a door desperate to give us £1,000 a month. Like, I wish we did. Wouldn't it be great if just everything happened like that? But that is not the way that it works. I wish it was. And yeah, the follow-up myth we just talked about, they should phone me if they're serious. It just doesn't happen. I don't know where people get this idea that people are just sat around waiting for you to show up. No one sat around waiting for me to show up. Woohoo! Nobody, right? It just doesn't happen. Yeah, but some people do. Grant Cardone does, and Gary Vee. Yeah, because they're Grant Cardone and Gary Vee. I'm not either of those, and neither are you, thank God. Let's have a look. Technical gaps that quietly kill results. Goodness me, we took on a client this month. He's running Facebook ads. There's no pixel on their webpage. And I'm like, how long have you been going with these guys for? It's like 3 months. Results. This is what people go. They go, oh, well, our existing Facebook ads guy is really good with getting leads. Okay, great. How many have actually closed? Oh, no, the lead's not very good. But it's cheaper than you are. And we're like 300 a month, right? Well, it's cheaper than us. So it's 150 quid a month. But you're dissatisfied with the quality of leads. I wonder why that is. Is this one of those one-man bands sat in his, in his conservatory at the back of his house or his little bedroom or something? Do you know what I mean? So these technical gaps, the website doesn't work. The landing page doesn't work. You've got, one of the websites we had when we did an SEO audit on the website, because it was created in India, it had all these Indian or Pakistan, it had all these different terms embedded on the website, which really, really confused Google, because the company's based in the UK, not overseas. And so it really confuses Google because you've got all these things embedded in your website. And so your website's broken. And then they're wondering why the SEO's not working. And so, you've got to be really careful on stuff like this. Next one, number 10, chopping and changing ads too fast. I had a conversation with a guy this week, and he was saying, I've tried Facebook ads, doesn't work. I ran the ad, ran it for 2 weeks. It just didn't get me. I'm like, dude, no, you've got to let it run. The first 2 weeks are just the learning phase for Facebook, where it's sending your adverts to all sorts of places, even overseas sometimes. We've got another company, and they do furniture, like fitted furniture, and they were they're in their learning phase because they just come on board, and they've got an advert response, they're getting leads, but the leads are outside of their area, which is really frustrating for us because this is Facebook's AI, and so we're going to have to tighten down and lock down the locations a little bit more. Because the good side is at least we know the adverts are running, and we know the adverts are converting because people are filling in, but just not the right location. So we've got to absolutely fasten down those locations. But most people would stop those ads, or they'll change the ads, and they'll try a new banner, and they'll try a new image, and they'll try new text. And You can't change these ads too quickly. Facebook doesn't like it. You're confusing it. Next one, number 11, not understanding timescales. SEO's long term, 6 months. I mean, we're very lucky. We got a client for one where we're going through those 25 pages are starting to rank on work that we did 2 months ago, right? That's pretty good. I'd say that's pretty good. We're like number 1 ranking for quite a difficult term. That's amazing, in fact. But does it happen like that all the time? No. Very, very challenging. Facebook ads in 2 weeks to 4 weeks, you should start generating leads. 5 to 6 weeks, the leads should be coming in. Now we're looking at ad spend, trying to increase that without blowing the ads up, because again, that's a very challenging thing to do with Facebook these days. I don't know why Facebook make it so hard just to increase your ad spend, but it does. It makes conversion rates much harder. I don't know why they do that, but it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it. We just have to live. We have to play the game by the rules that we are given by Facebook, for example. And then just finally here, the offer. Your offer is so, so important. So we were having a conversation this week. I had a lot of calls this week. It's Friday today. I've had so many calls. I'm exhausted from calls, by the way. You can hear it in my voice is going gravelly because I've had so many calls. And then everybody who gets a call normally gets a proposal. Not everybody, actually, but most of them get a proposal. A lot of work goes into all of that. Anyway, the offer. So we were working with a gym, and the gym does like a 7-day pass. And I'm like, everybody does 7-day passes. It's rubbish. You need to brand it. A 7-day reset, a 7-day challenge, a 7-day habit thing, whatever that's going to be. You need to brand the thing that you're selling into an offer. Not always, by the way. I mean, we run ads at the moment and everything's $297. Facebook ads $297, web design $297, Google $297, content $297, and then everything all in one is $997, where you get everything. And that's working really well. Really simple advert, carousel, says what the price is, says what it is. People are being burned because of all the other 11 things we've talked about. People have been burned. They don't know what it is. Everyone's prices are for some reason, are just a big secret. You can only get pricing if we do a 45-minute call where we're going to try and sell the living crap out of you, and you have to make a decision within 30 minutes, otherwise we're going to shoot your family. Do you know what I mean? Like this fake scarcity. Well, I can only hold that price until this afternoon. What a load of shit, quite frankly. Your offer has to be believable. It has to be credible, and your offer is as important as the advert, because if you don't get the offer right, you can run an advert all day long and spend £100 a day. No one's buying that stuff because your offer isn't good enough. And so that's something that you need to work on as well. Right. I hope you find that useful. Round today, got some proposals that I need to get going. But I do hope you find that useful, and we'll catch up with you on the next one. My name's Dan Latto. Have a great day. Take care.